Ladies and gentlemen, the producer of Beauty and the Beast and Disney's latest animated feature, Lion King, Don Hahn.
Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate the Lion King. You know, there's a wonderful saying about animation and about animators that great animators don't just move drawings, they move people. And I think you can see why we're excited about the Lion King and about the potential of animation to stir the soul and to actually move people. We're in the middle of a wonderful renaissance of animation right now. Films like Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin have kind of redefined animation for a generation. And our audience really has rediscovered animation as well. If you remember when Snow White was released in 1937, the audience accepted Snow White as though it were a mainstream film. And I think what you're seeing now is people going back to the theater to enjoy animation, not just to drop their kids off, but to enjoy it as a family. It's for the kid in all of us. The Lion King is a departure for us in many ways, and I suppose one of the biggest departures is it's an original story. It's about growing up. It's about coming of age. It's about that day in all of our lives when we have to grow up. Unfortunately, for most of us in animation, we haven't really reached that day yet, so it's all kind of conjecture on our part. Even though it's an original story, it's based on many things. You'll notice resonance of Hamlet, the tortured character dealing with the death of his father. A little bit of Old Testament Bible story thrown in, Moses or Joseph, about the noble young prince who has to grow up in exile and return to conquer his kingdom. A little bit of King Arthur thrown in, kind of Moses, Joseph, Hamlet, King Arthur, meet Elton John in Africa. Our story starts with Simba, our hero of our hero's journey. He learns all about the wisdom of being king, about the nobility of being king from his father, King Mufasa. But Simba has an evil uncle named Scar who wants to be king too, and Scar plots to kill Mufasa and Simba so that he can be king. And he does. In a terrible stampede, King Mufasa is killed and Simba's driven off, left for dead, far away from home, lost and alone in the inhospitable wastes, where he's rescued by an unlikely pair of a flatulent warthog named Pumbaa and a fast-talking meerkat named Timon. Meerkats, if you remember, are kind of the prairie dogs of Africa, known for their uncanny ability to perform elaborate musical numbers on the Serengeti. So Simba grows up in exile, far from his family, and as an adult, he's tortured somehow about the loss of his father and about him dropping out of life, until one day his father's spirit appears to him and says, Simba, you must take your place in the circle of life. You must remember who you are. And so he gets the message and returns to his family, returns to his home, and takes his place as the Lion King. These films in themselves are kind of heroes' journeys in the making of these films. It took about 600 artists spread out over 4 years' time on 3 continents. We have a studio in Los Angeles, in Florida, of course. We recorded music and dialogue in New York and London. And for the first time, we went to South Africa and recorded extensive portions of our soundtrack in Africa. When you see the film, you're seeing about 120,000 frames of film that have been labored over to create The Lion King. It represented a challenge in another way for us, too, because for the first time, we had to deal with a story that was complete allegory. There's no humans whatsoever in The Lion King. Even Bambi had kind of man in the forest. So for us, it was a real challenge. One of the animators came up to me one day and said, well, how do you expect us to do this? Because all of our characters are naked with no opposable thumbs. I don't understand how we're going to make it. But we brought in lions. We had Jim Fowler, who you remember from Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, came in and brought lions into the studio. And we sent animators to Africa to be inspired by the landscape and the culture. And the result, I think, is a sense of power and nobility, not only of lions, but of Africa and of kind of a sense of place and being of this primal, wonderful place to tell the story of the Lion King. Lion King also represented a possibility to bring together a rather diverse, spectacular cast of voice actors. You haven't lived until you've been in a recording studio with Jeremy Irons, Whoopi Goldberg, and Cheech Marin performing a scene together. It's quite extraordinary. It's also a film of innovation. Each of these films, and we do stand on the shoulders of our previous films, but Lion King in particular represents tremendous effort by our computer graphics artists. For the first time, a generation of animators can come to work, and some pick up a pencil in the morning, some pick up a paintbrush, and others pick up a mouse and a keyboard and express themselves with a computer. Musically, The Lion King was a departure for us too, working for the first time with singer, songwriter, rock star Elton John and Academy Award-winning lyricist Tim Rice. And the score is something we're particularly proud of. Hans Zimmer, whose work you know from films like Backdraft and Thelma and Louise and Driving Miss Daisy and Rain Man, crafted a beautiful African score to complement the storytelling of the film. So as you can see, it's not just about making drawings move, but it really is about moving people and stirring the spirit. And today's a really important day for us because as we speak, and in the next few hours, The Lion King unfolds in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of theaters across America, and people for the first time across North America will get an opportunity to go see this film. It's been 4 years in the making. There's a character I haven't really talked about in The Lion King, and he is a mentor. We all have mentors and characters, people in our lives who show us our way and our place in the circle of life. And in The Lion King, Simba's mentor is a wise, old, mystic shaman baboon named Rafiki, and he's here today. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Rafiki.
Asante sana squash banana, wewe nugu mimi hapana. Asante sana squash banana, wewe nugu mimi hapana. Oh, hello there, everyone. And welcome to the Pride Lands, home of the Lion King. I am Rafiki, which means friend in Swahili. Now, friends, I know why you're all here today, but do you? To eat the free food? I was right. You don't even know why you're here, but old Rafiki knows. You repeat after him. Asante sana. Ooh, that wasn't too impressive, was it? Let's try again. Asante sana. Much better. Asante sana. Squash banana. I look like a big iguana. I thought you were all looking a little green around the gills. Squashed banana for breakfast. Oh, can't go yet. There's something new to show you. Shh, shh, it's a secret.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man who just can't wait for us all to play the video game, Jeffrey Katzenberg, the chairman of the Walt Disney Studios.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Good morning, Rafiki. This is little Simba. He's 6 weeks old and very frisky. Yeah, say good morning. There we go. As Walt Disney said, it all started with a mouse, and I think maybe this one started with a little guy like this, a wonderful little lion cub. When we first saw one of these animals, we were struck by their beauty, their majesty, their nobility. And we were excited about the idea of telling a story about a lion's journey from a cub like this to adulthood. And so began our journey to tell that story. Hi, Simba. Can't imagine how much pressure that is. The story we came up with isn't just about lions, though. It's about that defining moment everyone must face in their lives, the moment when we cross the bridge from childhood to adulthood and go on to assume responsibility for who we are. 4 years and over 1 million drawings later, we have The Lion King. For 1 week, the film has been playing to packed theaters in New York and Los Angeles, and from all reports, audiences are coming away enthusiastic about many things in the film. The animation, the characters, the humor, the music, and the magnificent African setting. All of these elements combine to tell Simba's story in the movie. And we're using all of these elements to tell his story in the game.
Well, it's about time. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and wondering when you'd get here. Don't like tardiness. If you're tardy, you missed about.
God,
Hey, why are you here anyway?
I knew I should have left the skydiving to Richard Branson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Alper, the president, CEO of Virgin Interactive Entertainment.
Thank you.
And I just want to say that under Martin's leadership, Virgin has been a phenomenal partner in working together with us to develop the Lion King game. So Martin, please give us, all an idea of what we've got coming for them, for what we've got coming for the people this coming fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Morning. Thank you all for giving up your precious time, power breakfasts, and beauty sleep to join us in our proud pride. This time last year, I stood on a similar Chicago podium with Jeffrey to launch Aladdin, the Sega Genesis video game. Now we have returned, this time with our new friend, Simba the Lion Cub. Now I know exactly what Disney meant by the clause in your contract. We are here today to preview the results of a second collaboration between Disney and Virgin, the results of which is a video game that will take us all to a significantly higher level. Lion King. In an increasingly violent and disillusioned world, the fundamental values and acute narrative that run through this stunning animated motion picture speak loudly to its audience. And from this powerful and emotive cinematic adventure, Virgin and Disney have been able to distill the essence of the movie into an extraordinary gaming experience. In bringing this video game to fruition, the smooth and seamless integration of Disney's feature animation group, Disney Software, and Virgin Interactive Entertainment presented a formidable challenge. This task was made all the easier by one common goal: excellence. And whilst this isn't the Academy Awards ceremony, I would still like to acknowledge two key people without whose commitment and skills this project would not have reached the heights it has. Mark Terham from Disney Software and Lewis Castle from Virgin Westwood Studios. Thank you both very much. The Lion King is positioned to become the must-have game for Christmas on both Sega and Nintendo platforms. Now, to make sure that everybody gets this message, Virgin has committed to an $8 million worldwide marketing and promotional budget covering the final quarter of this year. The majority of this spend will be on a TV commercial campaign, but also look for highly innovative print and promotional components. In Europe, the games will be launched simultaneously with the theatrical release of the movie. Now, Paris, Hamburg, and London offices will provide an unprecedented level of marketing support to back our European retailers. On the same day, the North American rollout will take place with equal razzmatazz. Just as the game sets a new standard in innovation, our marketing efforts will sound as loudly as the drums of Africa, and the message they will carry will be as clear: the Lion King has arrived. Thank you very much.
Wow, they are really great. Quiet, subtle, all before 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, as I was saying, the Lion King game may be a different form of entertainment than the movie, but in its heart, it's still the same animal. The story, the animation, the characters, the music, the humor, and the exotic setting will all be there. But this time, the audience will get to take part. This is how the Aladdin game was created. The elements that made the movie unique were also designed into the game. The result was a game that was the sales champ last Christmas and is now projected to sell over 3.5 million units worldwide. Part of this success was due to the quality of the game, but a very large part of it was also due to the incredible support many of you in this room threw behind Aladdin last year, and we thank you for that. If the Aladdin game was good, we want the Lion King game to be great. As with the film, the game will begin in the colorful and carefree world of young Simba, who frolics among his friends in the animal kingdom. Then in each successive level, Simba will acquire new skills and knowledge as the overall tone of the game becomes more serious. He must escape the hyenas and the elephant graveyard and avoid being trampled by wildebeests, who, as in the film, are seen charging not across the screen, but directly at us. Halfway through the game, the Simba sprite will actually transform from a cub to a full-grown lion. People have been amazed at how cat-like Simba is in the film. He isn't some anthropomorphic cartoon. He is a lion. The same will be true of the Simba sprite. It is a realistic, four-legged character, a cat who can pounce, leap, slash, snarl, and roar. The sprite will be the centerpiece of an unprecedented diversity of gameplay. The adventure begins in an action platform style of game. It then evolves level by level, ultimately becoming a proscenium-based battle-type game. As in the movie, Simba returns to the Pride Lands for a climactic one-on-one confrontation with Scar. In order to be victorious, players will have to learn how to move and behave like a lion, not a human. This will be a unique challenge that should be fresh and appealing to even the most experienced game players. To help tell the story, the Lion King game will feature 50% more animation and 50% more backgrounds than were in the Aladdin game. Over 2,000 original cells are being created expressly for the game. And a new rendering process is being used, which gives the characters a three-dimensional quality that makes them come to life in the interactive environment. Comedy and music will be a major element in the game, just as they were in the film. That comic relief will be performed by that wild vaudeville team, Pumbaa and Timon. During the bonus rounds, players will get to join this duo in gathering up and snacking on some delectable bugs. And in what may be a video first, the composer of the film's score, Hans Zimmer, has agreed to reorchestrate the score and compose additional music specifically for the game. This is one video game where the players won't just see the difference, they'll hear the difference.
Oh well, time is up. Must be going. Asante sana squash banana, where we mimi upon. Asante sana squash banana, where
You wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you.
Rafiki, you've just helped to introduce the new Lion King game to the people here at CES. What are you going to do now?
What? I'm going to Pride the Rock. Where are you going? Kind of question is that? Where else would I be going? You see, you, me, everybody, we're all part of the great circle of life that must be kept in balance so we all can survive. And whose responsibility is it to say that the circle of life stays in balance? Yours, and yours, and even yours. It's everybody's responsibility, no matter what you are born to be. Now me, I'm a baboon, but I'm not too sure about the rest of you. Are you?
From the day we arrive on the planet and blinking step into the sun, there's more to see than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. There's far too much to take in here, more to find than can never be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps great and small on the endless round. It's the circle of life, and it moves